Yo yo! We back! We back! Oh. Ugh.
Open for business.
July.
Light bless you.
Junie. I need to find a priest. Alright, well, hello everybody. Kinfun is back. Kinfun is back. He's been playing League of Legends. And lots of it. It's been like 2 weeks probably. I'm gonna be so rusty. This is gonna be some dangerous stuff, and we're doing dangerous stuff. Activities for sure. Let's crank. So, unfortunately, the last episode, the last time I recorded was #1 deadliest and 5th deadliest, the trappers. 5th deadliest in Azeroth. That's crazy. I can get a buff. There we go. Just ripping aggro. Okay. I'm doing hard quest too. Okay, so I was saying the last episode, unfortunately, was blocked because I watched Survivor. And I can't do anything about it, I guess. But all I did was I did some questing in Ashenvale. I hate whatever these stupid icons are. Why does it feel dead? This is sad. I'm gonna try. I need to do my weapon quest before I start Dead Mines, and hopefully I can get a group for Dead Mines pretty easily. Which I'll do afterwards just for fun. I don't really need to. Maybe I won't. If I actually, yeah, I don't really need. Well, no, wait, I do. I think I have to do it for my quest. Yeah. I do have to do it for my paladin quest, otherwise I wouldn't, because there's really like no good drops for me in there. Or actually, I don't know. I'm thinking of Wailing Caverns. There's no good Wailing Caverns drops.
A hero has fallen.
Rip. So I've got health pots, and I mean I did this last time fairly easily. I used a health pot on the fifth round. Do I have any? That's scary. Why is the server dead? I'm just scared. Holy crap. All those things just spawned right after I walked past it. Well met. I can also use these bombs. That stuns them all. Actually, that's pretty OP. Okay, it's on the same cooldown. It's 1 minute. And it's not on the same cooldown as anything important. Oh wait, I do have a stamina scroll. I'm gonna use that. 5 stam, 4 spirit. 4, 4. 4, 4. 6. A more powerful spell is already active.
Need help? Farewell. Be careful. Well met. Safe travels.
Come over here, Daphne.
A hero has fallen.
Feel like, am I forgetting anything?
You need something?
Daphne still took a bit of damage there.
Greetings.
She's back to full. Okay, I can let her tank. Then well,
hero has fallen.
Okay. We did it, we won! Yay!
Light be with you. Go with honor, friend. Light bless you.
A hero has fallen.
I feel bad. Do I need to do messenger before this?
A hero has fallen.
I will actually, I'll set my hearth to, I mean, this one guy, the leader knows what I have to do. I mean, they want me, I'm 24. The leader knows what I need to do. I'm gonna just set my hearth to here, even though it's pretty inconvenient for me for later running. But it'll be faster for them by a lot. Well, but then I can't hearth out of the dungeon. No, I can't risk that. I'm sorry.
A hero has fallen. A
I
hero
just
has
can't
fallen.
risk that. Not having my hearth for the dungeon is not smart.
You need something? Be careful.
Hey there. See you around.
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Well, I mean, I kind of feel bad, but if they complain, I'll leave.
A hero
What
has
is
fallen.
this freaking add-on? I don't like it. Jonathan Langton? SI7 headquarters are sick.
Well met. For the Alliance, light bless you. Be careful.
This feels like I'm just rushing it, like I haven't really prepared mentally. I'll research this dungeon in a while.
A hero has fallen.
Greetings. Go with honor, friend. For the Alliance. Need help? Light bless you. What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend.
Van Cleef. Now we go to Ironforge.
A hero has fallen.
A lot of people dying.
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Honestly, if I don't... As long as I am able to do my paladin quest, I don't care. I love Stone Talon Mountains. Not me. Just this, like, that one.
Light be with you. Be careful. Light bless you.
It's a cool looking shield, but it sucks. Da-da.
Well met. Be good.
Tiki masala. Tiki masala. Tiki masala.
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Rip, bro.
A hero has fallen.
King's honor, friend. For the Alliance, go with honor, friend. Be careful. Go with honor, friend. Light bless you.
Greetings. Safe travels.
The question is, do I need to do messenger before I'm able to go in? I don't think so. If I can just get it right now, that'd be sick. These guys are like, I'm gonna kill myself if I do actually need it. I hope that, like, I can get the,
A hero has fallen. fallen. A hero has fallen.
I don't like these skips. Feel unnecessarily scary.
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Please tell me this isn't real. I don't know if we can do it. Because he was... I feel like that's not how it works.
A hero has fallen. I don't know a lot about sinners. Level 75. Coarse blasting powder. I don't have any coarse stone. How do I get coarse stone, bro? Oh, I guess I need to level my mining more. Yo, yo, heal me, God, please. A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
going in. We going in. This guy better be like able to get. Okay, we're all in. Thank Christ.
I can't cast that yet.
So many noobs. Will matchmaking ever find true balance? We're just running through this shit. It's just like this is dangerous if anything bad happens.
Van Cleef pay big for your heads.
Jesus, 2800 XP, that's sick. Where are we going?
hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Okay, this dude knows what he's doing from what it seems. So much XP from these boss kills.
A hero has fallen.
Damn.
It's too far away.
was reload reminder. What the hell was that?
That's still recharging.
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Rada. Rada. I don't like how slow we're doing this route.
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Why are we going back again? That was interesting.
That spell
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
I need a target.
A hero has fallen.
are tougher than I thought. I'll have to improvise. Now you're making me angry.
Uh-oh. This is bad. This is bad. This is really kind of scary. Nice, we got the rod. Some good drops in this dungeon run, I think.
I can't pass that yet.
Why does bro always want to go backwards? This pirate has been hitting me all the time.
How kind of you.
A hero has fallen. A hero has fallen.
Die, swine.
None may challenge the hero has fallen.
Lapdogs, all of you. Fools! Our cause is righteous. The Brotherhood shall reign.
Oh. I did want that quest. Whatever.
Excellent! It's been fun.
A hero has fallen.
Burns Hearthing. I don't want a hearth. I guess I have no choice. Oh, they're gone. Okay, that's annoying. I'm all the way where I don't want to be. Should've freaking. Okay. I'm trying to figure out when I actually got this weapon. Van Cleef.
You know what you're doing. Not very effective, really, in this game. Or
Shadow Van keep at 26. I don't even. Oh. Okay, Dodge Mart. I remember it now. When did I do my quest?
Survivor One World, but she chose to stick it out.
Should I do Shadowfang right now? Are these level 30? I saw level 35 and it wasn't Skull. I guess I wait. I don't know. I don't know what to do. This is annoying.
I am listening.
I gain. I actually lose armor. Because it's reinforced. I lose 13 armor to gain 1 strength. How much strength do I have? 76. gonna stick with these. This ore crap.
Farewell.
How do I head to Stone Talon Mountains? I'm so like past this shit though.
Or to ask it a slightly different way, can anyone
Another path there. There is a Talon Deep path. Okay.
A hero has fallen.
The postseason is here. The wild card series start tomorrow. We're going to preview all 4 of them on Talkin' Baseball. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. It's October 2nd and the playoffs start October 3rd. The regular season has concluded. It's in the past. We don't care about it anymore. If you're going to a playoff game, use code JOHNBOYPostseason at SeatGeek to get yourself $20 off.
10% off.
Ooh, 10% off. JOHNBOY Postseason at SeatGeek. Trev, Jake, Beebs. How we doing? Trev into the all white.
I love this painter outfit. I went old school John Boy Media shop. Shop.johnboymedia.com has this hat if you want it. I felt like this hat was appropriate today because Jake has been talking a lot of ish last night on the group chat, talking about his preseason prop bets that he went 3 for 3. Then in the John Boy ATS league for football, he's 4-0. This guy's on a winning streak, so I had to bring him back down a little bit. Jim, that's why I got the hat on. Jake, how are you, though?
Nice, good job.
Yeah, dude.
You're down.
You really got back at me by wearing some of my personal merch.
You're down.
Just wearing it around.
You're down.
Been smashed down.
Did you hear?
Oh,
what
hey,
I
why
said?
are you wearing that? Oh, well, my friend Jake. Jim, Trev, Beach. We're here, and it doesn't even feel like it because we are in the weird day before games, the little eye of the storm a little bit. I'm excited for tomorrow. We're live streaming all day tomorrow. Me and Jimmy in chairs. We're not getting up to pee. We're in the chairs all day.
You're going 0p.
And Joe's is with us, right?
But Joe's asked to pee the whole time. So it's going to be quite the stream.
I might do some cash out betting.
Hey, I'm going to do a Joe's impression. Wait, we're streaming tomorrow? So excited to get in the teeth of the postseason. And this first week and a half is such a whirlwind. Like, you've got the wild card series. You forget, like, the wild card teams that lose, they're so instantly out of your brain. Like Cardinals last year. Oh, we're in the playoffs.
They become not a playoff team anymore.
It's over. Texas Rangers season could end.
Mets last year didn't make the playoffs.
With a ball that goes off the drop ceiling.
Blue Jays last year didn't make the playoffs.
Mets only
Reds
made
in 2020 had a losing season.
Mets only made the playoffs because of Joe Musgrove's years. Like, they were a part of it because of it.
Yeah, they had a memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Gotta make a memory.
That's super fair.
Brad's so hot right now.
I don't know what you guys are talking about at all.
What?
At all.
I thought we were spelling it
And
out.
thanks for everyone that's joined us from Apple. You probably saw our picks. Thanks for coming through.
Pistachio's our color.
And we're nuts. All right.
Baseball.
The first
Where do we
series.
start?
The first series, we're Cron Pod. Texas Rangers will be going to Tampa to play the Rays. Rangers versus Rays in the American League. The Rangers took the regular season series 4-2. They lost the first series. Tampa Bay won. Scored a lot of runs on them in every single game. And then that was in June. And then in July, right after the break, the Rangers swept the Rays. So none of that matters, nor holds any weight because it was so long ago. I only care about series that were played in September when it comes to past matchups. But that's just me. They have the worst slate. They're the 3:08 game Eastern time, which is 12 o'clock Pacific time on ABC. So, loser of this didn't make the playoffs.
Now I see what you're trying to
A hero has fallen.
spell here. Okay.
Yes. They will be erased from memory as a playoff team. Which sucks for the Rangers since they won the division, had a really good year. But, oh yeah, you're right. They led the division for 139 games. Didn't win the division. And now they're here. Damn, that stinks.
Have
Rangers.
a good one. We're starting to get it.
letting the Astros skip the wild card round is just not good for any other baseball team. I do understand what you're saying now, but I implore all people who are at work during these games, just watch the games instead of doing your work.
Let me ask you
that's
this,
okay.
Trev. Who did the Rays make the postseason last year?
Yes, they did.
Only because of the Oscar Gonzalez walk-off.
Yeah. Emery, SpongeBob.
Well, and Cardinals got in last year because of that awful ninth inning.
Oh, that was horrible. Anyway, Jake, what do you got in this series? What's got your eye?
A hero
The thing
has
I
fallen.
can't get over, and maybe this is a Yankees fan that's been bludgeoned by the Rays being the Rays the past couple years, but the feeling that Texas has to be feeling, and I realize this isn't the athlete mentality, but also people are smart enough. Like you said, Jim, they led the division for 139 games, and they lose it on the last day of the season to the Houston Astros. The big bad wolf, the guys that have been Exhibit A in the AL of who you want to be, 6 straight ALCSs, and you switch. You go from 3 games to decide your season, or a bye, relax, take a couple days, clear your head. And I know there's still some arguments to be had about, rest versus rust, like getting the at-bats and continuing and getting hot and winning a series and that momentum and what that feels like. But if you're the Texas Rangers, I'm sorry, your season comes down to a 2 p.m. Central Time game in the Trop. Like, I just feel like I've seen that story before, and as much as I love the Texas Rangers and I love the bats, the Rays bullpen is back. They've got options back there. And Tyler Glasnow is going to get the pill in game 1. Like, the Rays can always pitch. That I just feel like Texas can come out and maul and win this. It's 3 games. Every team we're about to discuss, we can say can win the series so easily. It's 3 baseball games, maybe 2. But the Rays in the Trop with their pitching, like, I just feel like there's going to be a time you can look up at the scoreboard and it's like, okay, yeah, Yandy Diaz hit that ball in the gap in the 3rd inning and it's been 3-1 and it's the 8th inning. Like, how did we get here? So I'm horrified that Texas's season comes down to 3 games in the Trop.
I think that is a lot of the Yankee fan view. I get it. Like, we talk about the Rays all the time and what it means to go down to the Trop. One thing I will say is because it's a dome, we're not going to have these strange shadows that we usually get in these wild card games. So if you're a Rangers fan, you have to be happy about that.
Great call, Trev. I now am glad this series is taking place at the Trop, something I never thought I'd be, but I hate the 3. We saw it yesterday. Because all the games start at 3 o'clock. The shadows in the Yankees-Royals game were like unbelievable. It was night and day. So I'm glad. I hate that. I hate when these wild card games come down to, okay, well, the batters are blind for 4 innings, so this isn't real baseball at all. So yes, good. Go Trop, go.
Go Trop, go. And a lot of people are talking about, the Rays injuries. Obviously, what happened to their pitching staff, but, D. Lau and some of the other guys. Jose Siri, they think might be back, and you can talk all about that. The Rays won 99 games this year. They won 99 games, and I feel like they were kind of like sleepwalking through the whole season, but in September, they were 16-11. In August, they were 17-8. I mean, they had 1 bad month this year. This team is very, very good. But I think the Rangers.
A hero has fallen.
Healthy. Obviously, not Max Scherzer, but the lineup is healthy. There's something to be said about an offense waking up, and I think when I look at this Rangers offense, I just kind of like it too much. And I don't know if that's right or wrong of me, but I have so much faith in their offense that I'm leaning Rangers in this series because of it.
Well, they're going to see all righty starters from the Rays. The Rays, all 5 of their starters, I believe, at the end of the season were righty. Their bullpen has some lefties in there, I'm sure they dispersed them balanced, but it seemed like there was more top-heavy righties in the bullpen. I was a little surprised. Usually I look at the Rays and it's so balanced.
A hero has fallen.
Pitching-wise,
Max Scherzer get traded to the Rangers?
Glasnow, is it Glasnow, Eflin, Savali? Is that what they're going to do officially, or is that just what we're guessing? But some
They
pretty
said
good
that.
pitching. But yeah, a lot of righties. You know, Seager's been the Rangers' best hitter. He's a lefty. They've got blanking on his name. I think the bottom of their lineups a lot of lefties. But
Well,
who's
we got the Lowe brothers.
Lowe, lefty, yeah. And then a bunch of switch hitters. But Glasnow's curveball has been incredible this season. He's thrown 400 plus curveballs. He's given up 10 hits on it. He's got a 50-something swing and miss on the curve this year. 51.6%. The Rangers are a good team against curveballs, and their best hitters have good numbers against curveballs. So I'm interested in that matchup. And if it is Glasnow versus Monty, if Monty's going to be the first, that's two tall, over-the-top curveball pitchers, just a righty and a lefty, and that's kind of fun. I like when you see pitchers that have similar pitches going against each other. So like if it's two guys that are going to be going four-seam fastball, curveballs, you know, mixing it up, I will enjoy that.
Trev,
A hero has fallen.
I wanna, because you made it seem like you're leaning Texas. I want you to walk all over yourself a little bit here because I do have a couple things going on. Like you mentioned, the Rays sneakily had an incredible season. The Orioles were always 3 steps ahead of them, which again shouldn't be shots fired at the Rays. Like the Orioles just had this incredible season. Tampa has the second best record in the AL to the Orioles. It's in the Trop. Like I love the Rangers lineup as much as the next guy, but is Tampa not the favorite in this series?
Are other teams scared of the Trop besides the Yankees? Because I don't think they are. I think that's a very Yankees.
Well, I think the Trop itself is just an image of weird baseball.
Yeah, but I
Not
feel
true
like other
baseball.
teams have gone there in the playoffs, and I think that's a very Yankee brain thing that we're.
They've hosted some wild card games in recent years, and the Trop like actually gets packed, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, wait, they can do this."
Yes, but the Yankee fans, we're not scared of it because of that. We're sure they don't play our outfielders. The Yankees.
I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm not.
I mean, I don't think it's like a great place to go into and play. You're not worried about any sort of crowd at all. It definitely changes during the postseason. Although I'd assume we see some Texas Rangers fans in there as well. It's kind of just how it happens in the Trop. You know, you're going to get some visiting fans there. I'd venture out to say that that's probably one of the better teams the Rays could welcome into the Trop as far as like visiting fans coming in. If it was like the Yankees or another AL East team, you'd see many more, or like the Cubs, one of the bigger teams, bigger market teams, you'd see much more visiting fans in. So I think that plays to the Rays' advantage. I mean, I do think there is something there. I think my decision, and I don't know if I'm fully committed to the Rangers yet, is, you know, B-Lau's not in the lineup. You do have Luke Raley kind of nursing something. He's coming back. You know, hopefully he'll be okay for this series at full strength. Same with Jose Siri. It's just in my head, man. I guess I really don't have a great reason, and a lot of these series are going to be like that. I mean, you know, look at the season record. You know, Rangers won it 4-2. Is there really any? I know the games were really close. The run differential was right there, so it's kind of anyone's game. In my mind, I just see this Rangers offense getting hot, hitting some big homers, and they're all healthy, and I like that. You can say the same thing with the Rays, though, too. I mean, you really could. I mean, Yandy Diaz just won the batting title. Go look at his baseball reference page this year. I was just in Colorado. I saw Nolan Jones just looking like a absolute stud there. Then you got Yandy Diaz, and you're like, Guardians, what were you thinking? I know that's mean, but sheesh.
Is Monty going to start? Or are they being all coy?
They're trying to outraise the Rays. It's a scary proposition, but it's going to be Monty Eovaldi. They're lined up.
I think you can outraise the Rays. The Astros have done it. The Dodgers have done it. The Yankees are terrible at it. Yeah. Well, I'm saying you guys are subconsciously doing it.
The Rays are the Rays.
I like the Rangers in this series.
Okay.
I like the Rangers offense a ton. I like the Rangers offense on turf a ton. I think the ball's going to be faster. I think there's going to be a good amount of hits. But I am interested to see how they work with their starting pitching and their bullpen. And if they're going to try and like get really funky and like do an opener to avoid having one of their bullpen guys pitch later in the game, you know, opener Monty someone, I don't know if they're going to do that. I doubt they're going to do that. But if they're really trying to outrace the race like that, then I don't like it at all. But there's going to be some tough decisions of when do you pull your starter, because you need to get as many outs as you can before you go to that pen. And then you also, the offense needs to get some big leads. But I like the Rangers offense a lot. You can't really find a bad split on them.
That's going to be probably the most talked about portion of this series is the Rangers bullpen. And, you know, if they have a 1-2 run lead, how safe do they feel? Who do they go to? I mean, Chapman's probably not. I'd assume he's not going to be closing games out, but maybe he will. It just kind of, the last time we saw him out there in September, it wasn't looking pretty. He was very erratic. So you have Leclerc back there, and he's got swing and miss stuff. So you like that. I think there's some guys there who can get hot, but it's definitely going to be a point of interest, as it has been all season long with them. Can they finish games out? And I agree with you, James, that I think they're going to be looking for definite length from their starters. Maybe a situation where Bochy feels like he's got to leave a guy out there a little bit longer than he wants to, because it's going to be better for the team than going into that bullpen. I don't think you can manage that way through the playoffs. So at some point, you got to put some trust in some guys in the back end and kind of hope it pans out. You just got to pick the right ones at the right time.
Yeah, I don't think they're long for the entire postseason, unless they have like some crazy hero step up, and you're like, oh, this guy didn't get a single hold all season, but he's the dude now. Like, that's the kind of magic they need that you're talking about.
Yes.
I don't know. I need to see Glasnow do it in the postseason and like really shut teams down. I think he's had good starts, but not great length. And am I right there? Like, I don't have.
He had a couple rough starts in September. He ended it well. He has one game pitched against Texas.
Yeah, last year he had a good wild card. It was the 2020 postseason, is my memory, where he had a 6.3 ERA, and I didn't have a single good game. But he did have a good game in the wild card against the Guardians. 5 innings pitched, 0 runs. 5 strikeouts, 2 hits, so shadow ball.
And against Texas, he was 6 innings, 1 earned run this year. That was in June, and that was like the Texas Rangers lineup. I don't know. Texas is an under 500 team on the road. The Rays have an extremely good record at home. And when you guys were talking bullpen before, I guess the thing for me is like the Rays are going to be so excited to press whatever button they press in their bullpen. Like whether it's, obviously Fairbanks on the back end, but even in those middle innings, Sean Armstrong, Kittredge, Stevenson, Diekman, like the Rays, when they press their button, it's what we talk about, that Rays empowerment. Like, we're putting you in a spot we believe in you in. We want you to come in, where whenever Texas presses the button, it's going to be like panic. Like this bullpen that's been so scary all year, it's going to be more, will they survive? I don't know. I think you can hear it in my voice. I'm liking how this lines up for Tampa.
They're very even in runs and runs allowed and run differential over the season. I thought it was going to
ends up for Tampa.
They're very even in runs and runs allowed and run differential over the season. I thought it was going to be different than that. 5.4 runs, Rangers averaged. 5.3 for the Rays. 4.4 runs allowed for the Rangers. 4.1 for the Rays. I thought that was going to be a much bigger difference. So the Rangers have a +1 run differential, and the Rays have a +1.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool storylines in this matchup. You mentioned the Lowe brothers, Lowe brothers. Randy Rosarena, Adolis Garcia is a fun matchup. Although Rosarena has been struggling. I have some stats here since July 1st: 218, 323, 361. That just seems like Randy's going to step it up for the playoffs, doesn't it? Like, I'm not even worried about that.
He's been bored since the Classic.
Yeah, I say that, and I'm like, oh, shit, that just means Randy's going to go out. So, don't even think about this. You know that's what's going to happen. He's going to hit a big homer. Now I'm thinking,
let's start
They have him lined up for game 2, we think.
Yeah, I think, but I like him in game 1. I don't know how they lined it up. I don't know who's been pitching down the stretch, but Evaldi just kind of has some big games under his belt. He started the wild card game against the Yankees. He started some big games. He did a postseason run. It would be Monty's first time being like, he's thrust into that role. I've seen pitchers their first time not be ready mentally for oh shit, game one, I'm on the ball. I think Evaldi's your more steady, stable presence.
Game one on the bump.
And he's very familiar with the trap, where Monty has only started 5 games in his career there, I think. I was surprised that it was so low at the beginning of the year. So I don't know. They haven't officially announced that, right?
We don't know their starters.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Their reporters are
prediction
educated
time.
guessing that they're lined up.
I'll go. I think the Rangers win this in 3 games. I think it goes to a do or die, and they win the last game.
I think I'm with you. I wouldn't put any money on this, and it might be more of a want than a think. I think it's going to go 3 games. Although, imagine if it goes 2 games. You didn't make the playoffs at all. You were never existed.
They definitely made the playoffs. It's right here.
I don't. This is like a bubble.
Okay.
These are like
In effect.
The play-in game for
Be
March
good.
Madness.
Keep it real. Be good.
Jake?
For me,
A
it
hero
feels
has
like
fallen.
anything I would lean into as a sports guy comes up Rays. Like, it's in Tampa. Like, the Rays have done wild cards throughout the years. This is Texas's first time at the dance. Like, I feel like this Texas team that had the AL West won all year, now they don't. And now they're in Tampa playing 3 p.m. playoff games with Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom on the IL. Like, this lines up for a little bit of a, like, what if? And I hope I'm wrong, because I do love watching this Texas team go, and, like, what Evan Carter's been doing, the kid at the bottom of the lineup. Like, their lineup, when they're full tilt, they could be... I think when they're right, they're the scariest team in the AL. I'm just worried they're walking into a buzzsaw right now. Like, Tampa's done this. They won't be scared to go to their bullpen in the 3rd inning if they need to. And Texas, I feel like they're in the exact opposite boat. So, I don't know. I'll go with the Rays in Tampa.
Hey!
The Rangers are going to
Off and
have
away.
to have length at
Alrighty
all,
then.
or else, yes,
Be
it's
seeing
going
you.
to turn quickly.
You have a great
But
day
I
now.
I
Off and
believe
away.
it. I do.
You know what stat I would
Monty
love for
Evaldi.
these? The cluster out stat that Katie Sharp helps us with Talking Yanks and Works for Baseball Reference she gives us. Like, what team is more prone to the quick inning? Because for a team like the Rangers, if the Rays are prone to that, like they get all their runs in 1 inning and then they have a bunch of dead innings between, or do they put men on base every inning? Like, that's going to help the Rangers' length. Evaldi seems like a pitcher who can get some quick innings, but I didn't watch him that much this year. Watch him a lot.
Yeah, and his playoff history wasn't as impressive as I thought. And not a ton of length.
Well, he
Like,
was a
similar to
bullpen for the.
Well, that was 2018. He pitched a lot in 2021, was it?
2021 playoffs.
Yeah.
4 starts.
It was the
And they
wild-
were all fine.
It was the wild card, and then he went on.
Yeah.
Julius
Wild card game.
Bosler.
Yeah. Pitched the DS in 3 games in the
Yeah.
CS.
Well, but my point wasn't about length. It was just about nerves.
Sure.
Yeah. Agree.
The length matters for Texas in a big way.
True. All right, moving on. What's the next one on the docket?
It's
Yeah,
Blue
yeah.
Jays.
A hero
We're
has
staying in
fallen.
the AL. All right, Blue Jays versus the Twins. Trev's Twins. So I'll give you some info on the Blue Jays, and I'll let you take the Twins, Trev. But they split their series 3 games apiece. Toronto won the first one. Minnesota won the second one. Lots of runs in all of them, it looks like. The Blue Jays are a winning team home and a winning team on the road. How about that? They're 25-20 in 1-run games. So that's pretty good for the Blue Jays. The most the Blue Jays were under 500 was 2 games, and that was in April. After ranking 7th in home runs in 2022, Toronto ranked 16th in home runs in 2023. Their offense has not been that crazy all year, although their starting pitching has been really good. And they are likely to start Gossman, Bassett, and Barrios. Someone you know, Jeff, because you know the Twins.
I do know the Twins, and man, I'm gonna have a hard time, I feel like, getting my mind off of what I think is gonna happen. Okay? But I will just kind of go over the Twins. It's gonna be it's gonna be Pablo, excuse me, first, then Sonny the second game, and then probably Joe Ryan game 3. Although he's kind of struggled in September just a little bit, so that could be up in the air. But I believe it probably be Joe Ryan. Twins lineup has been ultra hot. The end of the season with the A's and Colorado, so you can kind of take what you want from that. I just was in Colorado and I just saw them absolutely mash balls up and down the lineup. Again, I will temper my expectations just because we're in Colorado. They lost 103 games this year. Some of the guys they were throwing out there were, weren't the best, I'll say that. But I think the Twins lineup is very deep, especially when you're talking about right-handed pitching. I'm curious to see if the Blue Jays do any funny business, because when you do face a lefty starter, changes kind of everything. Rocco really likes the platoon kind of, righty-lefty matchups, but it takes away some of like the best hitters in the Twins lineup when he does that. Now, he's the guy that will pinch hit in the 3rd inning. He's not afraid to do that. They've been doing it all year. I believe they had the 3rd most pinch hits in baseball. And if you look up and down their roster, it's kind of funny. There's nobody that's the main breadwinner, essentially. Like, you're going to have a bunch of guys with 15 home runs. You're going to have a bunch of guys with like 60 runs driven in. And you're just going to go up and down and see that. Some of the reasons for that is because, they're relying on some rookies who didn't get called up till late in the season. Eddie Julian is a stud. I talk about him all the time on baseball. I think he's going to be a huge factor here. Matt Wallner's another rookie that, has been hitting the ball out of the ballpark and looks really polished for a rookie. Alex Kirilloff is still one of the young guys, although he's not a rookie anymore. Another just really polished hitter that can pump you any part of the ballpark. I think the main thing that we're looking at here as, Twins fans is, what's Royce Lewis going to look like when he comes back? Because he was, the fireball that kept them going, all season long. We all know about the grand slams and what he could do at the plate, but he hasn't played in a few, like 10 days, 12 days, something like that. And then Carlos Correa, he's been on the IL. He's supposed to come back. Buxton's kind of the wild card. I asked around a lot, is he going to be on the roster? And you kind of get different answers from whoever you talk to. I don't know if I would have him on the roster, to be honest with you, unless he could play center field, which he hasn't done all year long, and I don't think he'll just come out and do it now. If you eat up the DH spot with him, he hasn't taken a bat since for months. I don't know if that's the right play in a quick series like that, especially when you have guys that you would get out of the lineup for him that have been producing. So I like the Twins lineup. I like the Twins starting pitching, and their bullpen has really taken form in the last month. You got 6 dudes back there that are blowing like 100 miles an hour. Like, I don't think people give enough credit to this Twins bullpen and what it can do right now. You got Brock Stewart back. Chris Paddock came and is throwing absolute cheese out of the pen. He had Tommy John been in the organization rehabbing. He looks nasty. Louis Varlin got put back in the pen. He's throwing 100 miles an hour. You know about Duran. The Twins have a very beefy roster right now they've all been producing. And so kind of all getting healthy at the same time, all getting hot at the same time. So it scares me a little bit that I've kind of seen their best baseball as of late, but when they're playing their best baseball, I'm telling you guys, it's trouble for the playoffs.
This series is awesome. Both of these teams have a little bit of recent disappointment in their history. Like, there's the Twins and their playoffs and not winning a game and that whole thing. Blue Jays, popcorn, the movie. One of these teams is going to advance and have 1-2 games in the playoff and is is going to be feeling really good about themselves. Trev, everything you're saying about the Twins pitching, which Foolish Bailey opened up my eyes. We did a Wake and Jake episode, and he's like, dude, look at this. The guys in this Twins bullpen, the depth pieces, no joke. That there's so much to like about this. We have horses. Every Blue Jay starter that'll touch the mound this series has thrown 185 innings plus. The first 2 Twin starters that'll touch the mound in this series have thrown 185 innings plus. So you've got actual true horses that these teams believe in who will take the mound to start the game and see where we're at. And then we've got do or die playoff baseball where, you know, how are the Blue Jays going to use like Ryu and Kikuchi? Are they going to get in the mix?
Yeah.
Because they've got 6 guys in their bullpen they like. So do the Twins. That I think this is the best series of the first round. And I don't know, I'm kind of juiced. Like whoever comes out of this with the dub, like they're going to really be feeling themselves with a confidence that their organization hasn't felt in a little bit.
I think Kikuchi is a wild card here because of a lot of the hitters that are very productive for the Twins are left-handed. So if you can get him in spots where you know, maybe Rocco has stacked him somewhere and you want to bring Kikuchi in a high leverage situation in like the 5th inning or something like that, and maybe he pitches a couple, I could see that 100% happening. Maybe trying to force Rocco's hand into pinch hitting for some of these guys, getting Eddie Julian out of the game. It's going to be, yeah, I think some of that is going to be a chess match because the Blue Jays bullpen is also very good. Not just Kikuchi and those guys that are getting back there. I mean, Hicks has been phenomenal. Jordan Romano's been phenomenal. They have real deal back of the bullpen guys as well. So I agree. I mean, it's a good matchup. I think it's my preferred matchup of any of the teams that they could have faced as far as like the Twins. There's like a little bit of slap in the face bulletin board material as Gossman was lined up to pitch the last day and they decided to go bullpen day, I believe, or a young rookie starter. Almost like, hey, who cares if we lose this game because we'll get the Twins?
Well, I think
I don't
it's
know
also
if that's how it went down, but I think they'd rather.
I think you want Gossman in the playoffs more than you want to try to not face him or worry about who he's pitching against. He's pretty good. And he's kind of Yanks saw him twice recently.
The Twins have got him.
I saw Carl Garlick. His splitter was good numbers off his splitter. I was trying to see that because Gossman throws a splitter a lot, which is a pitch that many teams haven't faced. It looked like the Twins hadn't faced many splitter pitches besides Gossman. From a quick search I just did. But the other thing that's interesting that we just saw the Blue Jays recently as Yankee fans. Their outfield defense is really good. So I looked up the numbers, and Baseball Savant does have them atop the leaderboard when it comes to outfield defense. As a team, I think in outs above average, they're second behind the Brewers. The Twins rank poorly in outfield defense. Actually, no, they're slightly above average in outfield defense. They rank really poorly in infield defense. So do the Blue Jays. They're both kind of not great in infield, which I think you wouldn't really think.
It just depends on. Yeah, for the Twins, it kind of depends on who's out there. If you have Royce healthy at third base and Carlos healthy at shortstop and Polanco at second base, that's pretty good. The first baseman, they've kind of been running a bunch of different people out there, whether it's Donovan Solano or Kirilloff. Julian isn't exactly polished yet defensively, although I did see a difference throughout the season with him. He's getting better.
A hero has fallen.
And then the outfield for the Twins, Michael A. Taylor in center field's very good. Gold Glover. Max Kepler could be a Gold Glover. Like, he's that good. Left field for them is a weakness for sure defensively. Whether it's you have Matt Wallner out there, whether you have, there could be a bunch of different guys that kind of rotate that spot, but I would give the edge defensively to the Blue Jays.
Their outfield is really good. Like, with Kiermaier, Springer, they made some plays that was
insane.
And Varsho too. They made some plays that were nuts, which is really fun to watch. Kiermaier's a fun postseason player to watch if he's doing his thing in center field, and all he needs to do, he stopped swinging for home runs, he said. But I remember he popped a couple in that World Series against the Dodgers. He's going to do that as well. So that's fun.
Prediction?
Man, I really wish the Blue Jays gave me more faith in their offense, which I like, but they just haven't, because I really like their starting pitching. I like their bullpen, and I like their defense. I don't love their bullpen, but I like their bullpen. I really like their starting pitching. I don't think how can you not? And I like their defense, but I don't know. Just watch the Yankees kind of shut them down. Eventually they took off against the Yankees bullpen, but the Yankees started kind of shut them down a little bit, and I was like, what? Even in big situations when they had runners on, and then it was like they kind of just didn't get through. So here's what I think though. If the Blue Jays can find some timely hitting, then I really like their makeup to make a deep postseason run. Or I think their bats go dead for these 3 games and they never stood a chance because they couldn't get any hits and they lose close games. So I guess I'm not trying to rip on them. I think if they just find a couple fucking hits with runners on, I truly like them to win and make a deep run. I'll go with your Twins. You're kind of convincing me, but I don't really think that, so I can't. Yeah, they haven't won, and Kyle Garlick did the kiss of death. He did the Hasselback. Was it Garlick? Guaranteed victory.
Wait, when did Kyle Garlick guarantee?
Was it Garlick? Who was it?
What are you talking about here?
I think it was maybe it was Kyle Farmer.
Was it Farmer?
I think Farmer.
He said no one guarantees victory. What are you
Yes, they did. When the Twins clinched, he said, "I know we haven't won one, but I guarantee that stops this year."
I didn't see that. Well, come on, that's.
You don't have to say that. Don't
That's champagne drunk, you know. So you're going
Farmer.
I love that he said that. That Farmer's the glue guy. Of course he's supposed to say that.
2023 Central Division. How good does that sound?
Incredible. This team has worked so hard for it, and we played so well. And you can't beat these fans tonight. I mean, y'all brought it. We're gonna do it again in October, so let's do it again. Come on.
A hero has
Not
fallen.
good. I just picked my nose and it's bleeding. Orcish Padan says no. Will not die. Dies at level 1? No way.
A hero has fallen.
Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're Gucci.
This team is awesome. We worked so hard, and I'm so proud of them.
You mentioned the fans. This is the first time in 13 years that they have been here to celebrate with you guys. How special is that? How much does the energy on a night like this help?
Yeah, it's incredible. I was sitting out there and just taking.
As well as anybody, how important depth in the next spurt is this division title?
Yeah, I mean, all 26 guys on the roster, even the 40-man roster guys in AAA have pitched in and helped us out. So, this depth our bench is so deep, and so is our 40-man roster, and Rocco and the staff does such a great job putting us in the right situations.
Well, congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's go.
No, James.
I skipped around the fucking video because it's bam.
Just taking it all in, and everybody did such a great job tonight, and we're gonna get that first win since 2004. I promise you that.
As a promise, not a guarantee, but a promise.
If you want to see Kyle Farmer shirtless, this is him yesterday.
Okay. Well, I can't.
He gets mad when I post collages and he's not a selfie with me, so I thought I gotta get that selfie, bro.
If they win, I really like that he said that, but we want the ball and we're going to score is a famous line for a reason.
All right, so you're going with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go with the Twins. I'm gonna throw a couple more stats at you, maybe to convince Jake.
I
okay?
need it. I'm on the fence right now. Sell me.
He's sitting on the fence.
Sell me this
Tale
pen.
of two offenses for the Twins. First half wasn't very good. They're striking out a lot. Second half, they've been probably a top 3 offense in all of baseball. By any metrics, homers, runs per game, everything. They've just gone off.
A hero
okay?
has fallen.
Couple reasons for that. They pinch hit a lot, like I said. I think early on, I don't think anybody was ready for that. It's not an easy thing to do. We talk about that all the time. Pinch hitting is very hard. They've gotten in the groove where they understand, like, I'm coming in the 5th inning most likely. Like, they know how to prepare for that. So, like, the stats have gotten better and better and better because of that. And that type of managing happens in the playoffs a lot, where you're getting guys in there, you're trying to find the right matchups, and they are ready for that more than any other team because Rocco has been doing it all year long. So they're healthy. The offense is absolutely rocking. Ryan Jeffers is a freaking stud. I know that, you know, other teams have some good hitting catchers, but I think he's one of the better ones, and nobody talks about him.
Is that Nemo?
I'm going Twins.
_
I think they're going to win 2 games in a row. I think they're going to go 2-0 and advance to play, I believe, the Astros, which is scary. But for this round, I'm confident.
This is brutal. I think I have either team winning both games. So it's which team does it. It's Minnesota winning that first game, getting rid of the so-called curse. That's lifted. They're feeling good. They're in Minnesota. They win them both. They head into the next round feeling really good about their pitching and their starting and bullpen. And like you're talking about with the lineup, there's some juice there. Blue Jays, kind of same thing. Like, I think they had some nerves these last couple weeks. Remember, I think a week and a half ago, they were a game and a half out of the playoffs, and it was like, whoa, Toronto, is this it? Now they're in the dance. They're playing Minnesota. And, Trev, I know you're not going to like this answer because you're a little close to the situation, but I think Toronto just has a couple more dudes. Like, as I look at the back half of that Toronto lineup, know who slid down in the Toronto lineup right now, Trev? Your guy,
hero
Matt
has
Chapman.
fallen.
And, like, I don't know what he'll provide offensively. I know he's had a weird year. I think he's had, like, a reverse bell curve year offensively. But you're telling me I got Matt Chapman playing his defense, batting 7th or 8th? I've got Kiermaier down there. I know he's going to give me defense and maybe some offense. Like, and what the lefties have provided, that was kind of Toronto's thing, right? Like, we need lefties. And they went out, and Varsho was kind of the move. And I was a little skeptical of that because I was like, wait, you're going to break up Vladdy and Bo Bichette with Varsho? Which everything he is defensively, I think offensively he's on a different level than those guys. But Brandon Belt, a guy who's been in a lot of big games, he's been nasty. And he's the lefty breaking up that lineup. With Kevin Biggio, a 404 on base in the second half. The Blue Jays have dudes that I just think if I'm looking... Trev, this is splitting hairs, man, because I love both these pitching staffs the same. I think defensively they line up similarly. I just see 1 or 2 more dudes in that Toronto lineup. George Springer's been in a lot of battles that I'm going to lean on them. So, again, like you guys kind of laughed. You said I wouldn't put my money on this one. This one for me, I wouldn't touch because it could be one play. Like, it could be one play in that first game. And I do think whoever comes out of here is a little bit of a problem. Blue Jays.
So you guys are both on the Jays. Okay. I think here's my last thought on Twins. I want everyone to remember this and clip this, do whatever you want. I think the young nucleus that the Twins have that's already broken through the big leagues, and then there's some that are on their way. Brooks Lee, the guy they drafted, I believe, 2 years ago, he's like ready to come up and looks absolutely nasty. He might have been last year's pick. I don't know, whatever it is. It was 2 years ago. That group, this young nucleus that has come up, is just as good as any of these other young nucleuses that's coming up, but nobody talks about it.
Oh, that's a cool little spot.
And I think this postseason, people are going to say, oh, shit. Go Twins, go.
They may. Moving on to the National League.
National League is brought to you by Blue Moon.
Ooh.
Snakes and
Might
Brewers
see
is
me
gonna be
sipping on a
sick.
couple of these during our postseason streams on the JM Baseball. Channel. Blue Moon.
Think I didn't have a blue moon in Denver? Think I didn't? Because I did.
He did.
Trev was in Denver, Coors Field, where this was invented. Blue Moon playoff baseball is here. Playoffs. Bold. That's Blue Moon. Unique, that Valencia orange peel. It's the difference maker. Left and /baseball. Click the link in the description. You're going to be happy you did it.
Phillies are hosting the Marlins. Phillies and Marlins. Is this a 2020 situation? Who did the Marlins beat when they were all bottom feeders? Or that was a guy from Philly that called them the bottom feeders.
I think they beat the Cubs that
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah. It was a guy
like the guy
from
in
the Philly post game called them the bottom feeders, and they embraced that. That was it. Phillies. You should know them. They were in the World Series last year.
A hero has
a lot
fallen.
of fun players, a lot of big names. They had a Trey Turner. They were 41 and 40 away. That doesn't matter here. They had a 605 winning percentage at home. Harper's the team batting average leader. Schwarber.
A hero has fallen.
47 homers. Castellanos, 106.
Okay, so I can do. Wants me to do this quest. I really don't want to. I don't feel like I need to do any of these quests. Going to Menethil.
Ishnu Daldien.
Ishnu Allah.
May the stars.
Ribbies. They're expected to start Wheeler and Nola. Familiar names. They're going to go up against the Marlins, who are expected to start not Sandy Alcantara because he's got UCL. Blown out. Jesus Luzardo. Not blown out. Jesus Luzardo, reported by Marlins Beat, will get the pill. And then Braxton Garrett. Interesting note about that, Jake. Both are lefty
Big time
pitchers. Marsh for the Phillies. Good defensively. He doesn't start against lefty pitchers. So maybe that's good news for the Marlins, or maybe it's bad because Marsh's pinch hitting numbers are great. Bring in a righty out of the pen. We'll sub Marsh in. He'll hit a homer or a double.
Phillies are 30 and 21 versus lefties. Yeah, this is division rivals. These teams have seen each other. And yeah, Luzardo and Braxton Garrett, I know that doesn't have the sex appeal 1-2 punch as some of the others, but those are two really, really good lefties. I don't know. I mean, Marlins fans maybe earmuffs, although I think you might know what's coming. Like, I feel like Philly's just built for this, man. I've turned into a Dombrowski Hive guy. I made the turn. I went clear. And I don't know, this Phillies lineup in Phillies, like I think they're licking their chops, man. And maybe that's horribly rude to Miami. It is kind of. But Philly's like, okay, so the playoffs are here. We got Nolan Wheeler going. We got our lineup. The Marlins are coming into town. Like, let's run it. Like, I think they're ready to go, and I hope the Marlins can change my perspective, and I'm going to be rooting Fish. Like, Trev, I know you've been on for a couple years. Like, this team has a recipe. It's will it show up? And I don't know. Coming into Philadelphia, that's just a daunting task.
I have Philly winning the World Series this year in my preseason predictions, and it's when you get to the postseason, now you have the format, kind of put out in front of you, and you see all the teams. Like, I feel like your mind can change. I still really also believe in this team. I love the made it to the dance last year, have that taste in your mouth, have to get back. It's like an urge, like an absolute, like you need it, like you need air type thing for these guys. Miami, on the other hand, I don't know if they have that type of feeling, but they aren't scared of this series. And if you talk about upsets, there's going to be some upsets in the wild card round. No doubt about it. Like, this one to me kind of has a feeling of dang, they could just go in there and kind of neutralize some of those bats and, timely hitting, 1-run game, all that stuff we talk about with the Miami Marlins, that could easily show up here. It could easily show up here. If you look at Luzardo, kind of some of the standout matchups we have on our sheet, Trey Turner's 0 for 8 against him, Bryce Harper's 1 for 9, Alec Boehm's 1 for 11. If you don't see a guy well, you don't see a guy well. And then I know what Philly has too, so I'm going to lean Philly in this series, but this one to me has the biggest kind of upset potential in the series. I mean, we're talking, like you said, it's interdivision. Miami did win the season series. They have some pieces. They seem like a team that could ruin a bunch of dreams to me.
And in the research I was doing for this segment, the Phillies fans aren't happy they ended up with this draw. Marlins have just been a team they don't like facing, even with Garrett's numbers not being great against them. They kind of feel like they just haven't beaten these two starters specifically. So they've got some interesting vibes in this set. They got choices to make.
I just think the Phillies have so many batters that are going to have a good approach, especially after doing this, being in the playoffs last year. A little more patience, where the Marlins hitters might be a little more excited, a little more, we have to beat them because they're the favorites, and chasing a little more, where you have Schwarber setting the tone, taking pitches, working counts. Harper's going to do the same. I don't know. I think the Phillies are a team to beat here.
It's tough, man. It's tough. I want to shout out some Fish because it feels like we're all leaning one way. Hopefully Arise shows up, but he's been out. Soler has some playoff history. Hey, if I was just doing a little bit of throwing a bad pitch meter, and I was like, my God, the Phillies. You throw one bad pitch to Schwarber, Trey Turner, Harper, Castellanos, Real Muto, that in a 3-game set, that's it. Where for Miami, it feels like Arias will cut you. He'll cut you. It doesn't feel like he'll kill you. And maybe we'll be looking back in 3 days saying, well, Luis Arias went 8 for 11, so problem solved. Soler, we've seen it, and he could be the one that stings you. But Phillies, it's every guy. It's every guy. And they've got dudes in their bullpen now. Remember when it was Philly doesn't play defense and they don't have a bullpen? They kind of have that too. They feel like, and maybe it's because I want them to feel this way, they feel like the modern example of what teams should be trying to achieve in this playoff.
I want to go eat my M&Ms.
We have a ton of dudes. Get us in the dance.
That means I have to fill up my water bottle, and I don't want to go upstairs.
Yeah, Harper playing first base, there's something so sick about that, and maybe that's why I'm just getting sucked in like a little kid.
We keep talking about these lefties, the 4 high leverage relievers in the Miami pen are lefties. You're starting 2 lefties the first 2 games. Philly's been better against left-handed pitching all year long. So what are we even talking about?
I just deep dove into that. Good lefties can still have a night against the Phillies, like Max Fried had a good night. those stats are padded by some Mets.
By some Mets. I was wondering, there could be some big blow-up games.
Peterson once, Quintana twice, and then some like openers, and the Pirates threw like Ozark, or what's his name? Okert. Yeah.
Stephen Okert.
Angels threw an opener. Tyler Anderson
You could say that about
like,
the right-handers too, though, right? Like they probably had some big blow-up games against some righties.
Well, righties just such a larger sample size, where like bad lefties. If you are a team where even bad lefties get you out, then I think that speaks a lot. Like, hey, you're prone to being bad against lefties. I think it's neutral against a good lefty pitcher. Because those numbers are gaudy. They have like an 800 team OPS against lefty starting pitchers. So I was just going through the game log and be like, who have they gotten to?
Hey there.
And I came away being like, all right, like it's not, they don't just crush every lefty. They've got some big games against some bad lefties. Or
sure, but even just the lefties versus left-handed pitchers this year, I mean, they have a 740 OPS as a team. So it's not like
because besides Marsh, their lefties are. Is Marsh a lefty?
Marsh is a lefty.
Yeah, but besides him, their lefties are pro players. They hit both sides. They're not like
Harper and Schwarber.
Yeah, but but a lot of the times the platoon is more. The teams that have the Rays who have designed lefty righty, like they're just good.
Trey Turner one dot in it since whatever his standing ovation or whenever that was. I just can't see this Phillies team exiting in the first game. I can't see it in my brain, and maybe that is the biggest warning that you can have when you're talking about sports is when something seems like it's a no doubter. It's usually not. I think I'm going to lean Phillies here, and I think it might take 3 games. I'll go Philly in 3.
I think you have to lean Phillies. Coming off of last year, the dude meter in Philly, love me some Braxton Hill, love me some baby Jesus, but how could you not lean
See you later. See you around.
It's baseball. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll be happy to sing Miami's praises in a couple days if they do it, but I don't know. It feels like Trey Turner runs in and the place erupts. Kyle Schwarber first at bat. Like if Schwarber hits a home run in his leadoff at bat, it'd feel like the series is over. It'd be like, oh, okay, we're back. So I don't know. Maybe it's horribly rude. Jim, I do want you to see the name Orion Kerkering.
I saw that already. I was like, no way.
He's got a funky pitch.
No way. Yeah, of course.
If your name's Orion Kerkering.
I was looking at the defensive, the outs above average on these teams. Just gotta note. I know Schwarber's DHing. He drags the entire Phillies team down. Like as a team, they look bad on outs above average because he's minus 17. Oof. And he's in the qualified, like outfielders. 76% success rate in the outfield. So that's not a factor. And on the other side, Arise is hard outs above average wise.
The Phillies have a defensive arrangement, even if they ended up having to start Schwarber in the outfield or something.
What can I do for you?
They have a group that they
for
can
the
get
alliance?
Plus defense.
Have a good one.
Get Sosa in for Bowen.
Yeah.
They have a defensive arrangement.
Yeah. Okay, so we're all on Phillies.
Oh gosh, that's scary. First one we all agreed on.
Yeah, I'm on Phillies as well. But Marlins have a chance
hero
to
has fallen.
Just torch.
Can I change mine from Phillies in 3 to Phillies in 2?
I have Phillies in 2.
Tough. Rude.
Marlins win the series.
Not an ad. It looks like our own Jack Doyle has started doing sock reviews on his Instagram, and his first one is
day 1.
The worst.
That's a tough sock,
the
bro.
worst
You gotta
looking
throw
sock
that.
I've ever seen. 2 out of 10.
But I mean, that's what he wears. I mean, he doesn't.
I've never seen him wear socks that aren't that.
I wouldn't put that on my foot.
To do that as your first sock review.
Well, you can't. You got to let people know you're going to be
man.
honest.
Right.
I like
I'm
that
wearing
one company.
these socks.
Last wild card series, Jake's Diamondbacks versus our Brewers. How about that?
Before we wrap all this playoff talk up, how could we not talk about the DraftKings Sportsbook? Because They are going to be there all playoffs long. And if you're new to the game, you can bet just $5 on baseball and you get $200 instantly in bonus bets. We're going to be doing our live streams. There's going to be a couple bets out there. Make sure you're watching with us. And if you're at the DraftKings Sportsbook, download it now. DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TALK, and new customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on baseball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TALK, and the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. 21 plus, ages vary by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/baseball for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
This gets the prime time slot? Or no, this gets the 10 p. No, this gets the prime.
It's the latest slot. What do you consider 7, 8? It's
West
the
Coast
last, it's
team.
last.
So, all right. So, D-backs, Jake. 15 and 13 in September.
Philly's going to do it.
Oh no.
This is the 7 o'clock.
7
This is 7.
Yeah.
So the NL games.
The NLs are later.
Jake, I'll let you tell everyone about your D-backs. The Brewers.
A hero.
This is bad. I could easily die here, I think.
$49 and 32 at home. Also 605 winning percentage. Had a really good September, October. Really good record in one-run games. They finished at a season high 22 games over 500. At no point in the season were the Brewers higher than that. Wow. Mark Canha delivered 800 OPS in 50 games with Milwaukee. Is 33 RBIs in that stretch. Trailed only Contreras, 34
21
in that
clients.
span. And they have the best outfield defense in MLB.
I don't really know what this shit means. But
Sal Frelick came to the office and then ran into the wall to preserve a no-hitter like a wild
There's
man.
a lot
He
of people
plays
on the
outfield like his
internet
hair's
right
on
now.
fire. So I'm excited. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, I just kept raving about the Brewers' defense. So I'm excited. I want defense to win a series here. I like the Brewers' defense. Jake, what do you like about the D-backs? And tell us some more about them.
They did it. Like, I feel like this whole year it was kind of like, all right, Snakes, you're hanging around. Cool. Snakes are doing stuff in the West. This is awesome. They're kind of ahead of schedule. Now they're here with 3 games to play in Milwaukee, and they won both series against the Brewers this year. I mean, one was in April and one was in June, so what can you really do with that? Jim, what I like about this one is game 1 has everything on the table. It's the Snakes are throwing the kid, Brandon Pfaadt. Gallen and Kelly are lined up for 2 and 3. So,
why?
Because they were playing to win the season.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that, there's a huge amount of pressure on game 1. Like, everything's lining up Brewers for game 1. It's in Milwaukee. The Snakes do not have their guys on. Game 1's going to be super interesting because if the Snakes do jump out or get ahead, there's going to be that panic of like, oh, shoot. Like, they're kind of lined up for the rest of the series better than they are for game 1. Who knows if we'll get there. Like, I think the other side of that is the Brewers could win a dominant game 1, and everyone's like, okay, almost like the series begins now. I don't know. I'm excited for our Snakes. I think the biggest thing that they have going for them, and it's a stat I keep leaning into, with Gabriel Moreno behind the
Okay,
plate,
it still says I have
this
300
team
hero
has
has
been
fallen.
an elite level baseball team. I think the
having
catcher
any
position
delay
is
on my
underrated throughout baseball. I think we need to re-examine how we're evaluating it, because I think it matters more than every pitch. And if they bring something on the other side of the ball, that matters. And Moreno does that. I don't know. I've been saying for a little while that I think this Brewers team, compared to some of the previous Brewers teams, feels
A hero
in
has
a better
fallen.
place. Like, the lineup's got a little more depth for me. They're always able to pitch, but it feels like their three guys are ready to go. Burns, Woodruff, and Peralta. Devin Williams, in the end, is the end. With their fleet of other Brewers-ish guys. Payants with a massive season. Abner Uribe is going to be a storyline in this postseason.
I don't need to kill those.
Snakes have to feel like they're playing with a little bit of house money and, you know, a little bit continuing, just nobody believes in us. They arguably have the number one dude on the field in Corbin Carroll. Like, what kind of impact is he going to leave in his first postseason? I don't know. I think they're up against it. I think the Brewers should be the favorites, but, like, especially if the Snakes steal game one,
Maybe I should have
it lines up beautifully for them.
joined.
A hero has fallen.
That is such the X factor. I think this series gets decided in game one. And I know that if you're a Snakes fan, you say, well, we got Gallen and we got Kelly going 2 and 3, so we're gonna be in those games no matter what happens game one. But it's the momentum thing. If you have Corbin Burns go out there and do what he does and say that Thought doesn't have a great start, I'm not saying he can't, but say he doesn't, and the Brewers take game one, that's going to be very, very tough for Diamondbacks to go up against Woodruff, Peralta, that rested pen, and kind of sneak 2 wins out there. So I agree with you. That's probably the storyline of this round. And, you know, it makes you think about the next rounds, too. I mean, that's why it's so important to have these buys here, is because you can just line your pitching up while these other teams.
I am being FaceTimed. What? What's up? supposed to like be snow. And you winter's tournaments it's like so stay here or what? Nice. Are you coming by yourself or with like your friends? It's mostly for myself, so like when I'm just go back and eventually. So just wanna switch. Nice. Oh my god. My mic was not. My mic was unmuted? Oh my god. I thought it was muted. I swear I muted it. Well, I don't know if you could hear that, but nothing like bad was said. And okay, I'm down to 60 ping. Great. That was like pretty random. Like these people I worked with at camp 2 years ago just called me. Like I haven't talked to them in a long time. It was nice. I appreciated it, but I don't know. Maybe I left a bit early and I feel bad now. I shouldn't. Where are these stupid murlocs? I should have joined their group. This is the easiest quest and all I needed was to kill them with people. Sniped. Sorry, Brev. But yeah, they called me and it was just so random. Got 3 murlocs over here. What are the odds I get all 3 tags? I found the spot. This is the place, as the Mormons would say. I don't want to do that. Daily delivery. Actually, fine, I'll do it. Just because there's young Crocolisk skins. Muck Dweller.
A hero has fallen.
Have to go into the wild card, use all their pitching, and then kind of start their 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 guys to start off that next series. Kind of what's happening in this series to start, because like you mentioned, the Diamondbacks were still going out and making sure they made the playoffs. So game one's very, very important. I'm excited to see kind of like the new guys on the Brewers. You know, we know Willie Adames is going to have some postseason moments. I believe Christian Yelich is going to have some postseason moments, but the guys they brought over have been very good. And are they going to just come in and kind of be like, okay, we got these guys for this reason? And if Mark Canha produces like he has been, and Santana as well, that's a huge, I mean, it's going to make this feel different, like you mentioned, than any other Brewers teams. And then the X factor for me on the offensive side for the Brewers, Josh Donaldson. Wouldn't it be just like some kind of story that he just showed up and hit some homers, and you cannot put it past that guy to do it? You can't.
I think this series, although I don't think it's going to be the most viewed by non-fans, baseball fans, has the chance, like most likely, to offer us the brand of baseball I think is most entertaining to people who do not watch the sport regularly. You have two defensively minded, like stud teams. Like both these teams have great defense, will make crazy plays at shortstop, catcher position, the outfield. They all, I mean, the Diamondbacks don't have a player that qualifies. That's negative. They're all plus. The Brewers' only negative is Rowdy. Otherwise, they're all plus. And Adames is like crazy good defensively. You can steal bags. I think we're going to get some speed on the bases, first and third. Corbin Carroll's really fun to watch if you're like a new viewer. So I wish it had the sex appeal to go get people that are like, hey, I want to try watch playoff baseball this year. I didn't watch any regulars. And like go like this one. I think the Phillies will have more of that appeal. But I do think we could see some really fun baseball if we get some base runners and some balls put in play. And my one question, Jake, if you know, or any Diamondbacks fan that's listening, with having to throw Fought, who hasn't been great, what is his leash? Is it, and then if it's really short, which I'm guessing would be a little on the short
hero has fallen
in a close game. You know, if it's a tied game, 1-1, 2-2, and he's through 3 innings, is it okay? Like we're in it, and you have a starter that's not Gallen or Kelly. Is Davies still around, or they have a long man, or
Jarvis? Jarvis can give them some length. They've got bodies out there, and I mean, luckily it's a 3-game wild card, so like you can.
Yeah, so it's.
But you are right that it's an interesting point. Do you use your guys if game 1 is getting?
Or do you
haywire?
let him eat 5 innings, and you're confident with the next 2 starters you have?
I think you have enough guys that you don't let there's no need to let a guy die on the mound in a wild card.
Yes, but it's not. Is it fucking short leash, and you bullpen game it, or are you gonna? I don't know.
I think they give the kid a shot. He's like a real prospect. He's got the talent. You think they're just gonna instant yank?
I don't think it's instant yank. I think he gets one time through the order, see where we're at, continue through the order, and the first sign of trouble after that, I feel like you can make a move. This, like you said, this is the wild card series, man. It's 3 games in a row. Guys are gonna have to throw on back-to-back days in the bullpen, and possibly back-to-back days. There's no more to me. There's no more restrictions in there. Like, nobody's going to put their hand up and say, Coach, I can't throw today. And I don't think you want to get behind 1-0. And I'm not saying this guy can't go out there and have a great start. 100% he can. But if there's signs of struggle going on, I think Torlavella goes out there quickly, goes to the 10, and guys that he thinks are going to give him a better shot in that game. I think they're going to go out and try to win this game. It's not going to be like, oh, well, let's just let him go and see what happens because we have these next two starts. You can't approach the game like that. I think he's going to have a very short.
Trev, I like that from the perspective of making the burden easier on the kid.
Inventory is full.
Like you tell Brandon Faw, hey, get ready to do one time through. If you're cruising, let's ride it out. If not, I just think for a kid starting his first playoff game, and like Jimmy said, he hasn't been like dominating or anything. This isn't like, whoa, we're putting the kid out there for game one. Like Fots had a couple touch and go starts recently where I like that. Like, hey, I know this is a playoff game, kid. Give us one time through. You know, if you're cruising, we'll feed off it. If not, that's all we need anyway. So I think the Snakes will have a plan, but they can't put them in a compromised position for game two. So I think you have your middle reliever guys lined up and ready to go, and hopefully you're in a position to win. If you're not, you do have to be careful with a Seawald or a Ginkle because it may not be worth the bullets if you're down 1 or 2 runs, which it's a tough spot to be in because these are do or die.
Madison Bumgarner rides his horse back into the Diamondbacks clubhouse and says, let me back on the team, guys. Don't you know my postseason experience? And they say, Madison, what the
Get
fuck are you
out
doing
of
here?
After September.
Evan Longoria kicks his horse.
No.
Evan would never do that. He's the best person ever.
Need help?
This is a tough one
bless you.
to make a prediction on, only because we have friends on both
Be
teams
careful.
that are going
Teams
to
on it,
listen to
friend,
the
for the
show,
Alliance.
and when I don't say one of their names, they're going to text us and be mad.
Yeah. Yes.
So I abstain.
Let's forget that we have any friends.
Okay, so forgetting we have any friends that I know are
Any
going to like
friends.
Go with honor, friend.
get hurt
Be
by
careful.
my stupid
What can I do for you or the Alliance?
pull out of a hat prediction. I truly have no lean. I don't like that. I agree with you guys. Game one means a lot because this is the only matchup where we have a starting pitcher. I don't even know if you can let him go through the full lineup once, Trev. Like, they've been using their bullpen a lot, the Diamondbacks. In the last 10 days, it's like, I was looking at it, it's like 4 games, 4 innings pitched. 3 games, 3 innings pitched. Like, they've been using guys a ton to the point where I don't watch Diamondbacks games and I don't know their strategy, but I would think it's a very quick hook because you think you're going to get length out of your starter the next day. Like, that would be, and you like your bullpen. And if you're doing that, and now the Brewers got to face a new guy every time they come up. Like, that's how I would think of this if I was D-backs. Don't let the Brewers see the same pitcher twice, no matter what. Because you have the arms. You can still save people in a 3-game set if you trust that Gallen and Keller are going to give you innings in the next 2 games if it goes 3. And in that situation, I kind of like, that's tough. But it's also tough to rely on that many arms. Burns is really good. Burns' history versus Diamondbacks is really interesting. His first game, 8 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, completely shut him down. The next game, the Diamondbacks tagged him for like 7 runs in the first inning. I think he didn't record an out for a while. So I'm really torn here, and just because I am mad at Josh Donaldson still, and for the Brewers for picking him up and maybe rubbing it in Yankees fans' face, and for that reason alone, I'll choose the Diamondbacks. Don't make me feel dumb. Don't make me feel dumb as a Yankees fan.
So much leans on this first game. Mostly I want to pick Brewers. But in my head, I just see I don't know why, I see the Diamondbacks sneaking out a game and saying, we got Gallen and Kelly. We just got to win one of these games. And Zach Gallen, for those who don't know, and look, the Brewers have great pitching. Zach Gallen's a fucking dog. If he has a chance to close out a series, and because they snuck game 1, I think he's gonna do it. I'm taking the Diamondbacks. I think they surprise people. They're gonna steal some bags, big situations. I think for some reason they're gonna go in and get this game one. It's the only reason I'm picking them is I think they are gonna steal this game one.
Yeah.
And then
Or
have
they
those
just
two guys
fucking
going.
destroy Fought. He hasn't been good.
That could also happen, but I think he's going to have a very short leash. There's no way that he's going to be able to navigate through trouble. It's going to be a very short leash. And I agree with you. If the bullpen can show up and you're facing different guys, you know, you're only facing a guy once a game, and then you have to face Gallen and Kelly. It's a risky move for the Diamondbacks. One they have to do anyway because of the way it lined up. But I'm going Diamondbacks. I think they're going to steal game one.
Just checking for my records. You're both on the 6.
I'll switch if you want. I'll go Brewers.
Thank you. I
Burns is a
You know you're
stud.
going Snakes.
Sal Frelick Terrain came to this office. We rubbed our magic potion. Josh Donaldson.
Gosh, now you're gonna make me change. I mean,
go change. Go to the Brewers.
No, I'm going Snakes. This is the series the one series I think I don't have like a real good lean on, but I'm going upset city.
I think we could feel pretty dumb because we could be here on Thursday being like, well, Burns and Woodruff and Williams held them to 0 runs.
Well, that's why I'm on the Brewers.
Yes.
That's why you're on the Brewers.
Yeah.
Right. I have to go Snakes. I am a man of snakes. My name rhymes with snakes. They used me in their like pregame video the other day. Didn't even know. It was just on the big board. Here's what I will give to my biased Snakes answer. There's an argument that they have the 3 best hitters in this series. Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, and Christian Walker. You know, Yelly and William Contreras obviously can enter that conversation. But I don't know. It's a 3-game series. The Snakes are nice to me. I'm nice to people who are nice to me. Go Snakes.
Wow.
Gabriel Moreno has thrown out 48% of base stealers trying to steal second base. William Contreras has thrown out 18% of runners trying to steal second base. I think that plays into this series. Snakes, baby.
I mean,
Snakes in 2.
So haven't gotten like a very, it's the second or third year if you count 2020, a year of this format, so we're still kind of learning some strategies. I remember last year was a big talk about, there's a lot of discourse about like, oh, it's the best strategy, or Race being game 2 in these series. And so obviously that would be with your second best starter going game 1 ideally, but Diamondbacks aren't the one team that's kind of testing it this year. Not by their choice, but interested.
Can't wait till this graphic goes out.
Are the Snakes the only team that don't care if they lose game 1?
They care if they lose game 1, bro. They want to win game 1.
Every team cares.
Every team wants.
They're not trying to punt game 1.
They're the team that's most confident even after losing. Because they're not starting there.
Losing the least by losing game.
Yeah.
Little worried for Fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not okay. I mean, it's not like he's facing what do you call it, the 27 Yankees? No offense to Brewers. Is that what the good team was? The last time you guys were good.
I thought you were predicting the future.
20%.
As Judge.
Yeah, but he's been not good. Like his game.
Special.
Of late, there's been some good games, but not all good games. I think his last game was the one in the middle. He's had a couple nights, but they're not great or anything.
5.1 versus the Cubs on September 15th. 0 earned runs, 4 hits, 1 walk. So
He can give enough. I'd be nervous about it, but he can make a memory.
We're kind of talking in circles now.
I'm
gotta go to
not. I don't
baseball
have a lot of
today.
faith in Fought. But go make a memory.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? Fox, he's really good at facing a team twice. Face the Padres, bad. Face them again, good. Cubs, bad. Cubs again, good. So if he gets the ball in game 2 after getting the ball in game 1, I trust him to make the correction.
He's learning.
Who's Jake? What do you mean Jake sucks? Oh, he's this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Hotline League. This one is, I guess, very special for a couple different reasons.
Yep, it's not Monday, it's not the evening, and I'm not at home. So it's a wombo combo of differences.
Yeah, we're coming to you both live from the TGI studio.
Command center.
Yeah, the TGI command center.
You don't see it, but in front of us is just a huge control room of switches and ports.
I mean, this giant monitor. Wow, we got a crazy gift scam train.
A hero has fallen.
Of at-home command centers, this is definitely a legit. You have a ultra wide. You have a giant thing up there. You have 2 PCs.
Yeah,
like,
thank you, Alienware, for.
Yeah, this thing's pretty. You should actually start branding this. You know how like you have the Alienware training facility?
Yeah, yeah.
The Alienware TGI command center.
We talked about that at the beginning of the Alienware partnership, like many moons ago. And the challenge is just like communicating what this looks like while also broadcasting from it. You know what I mean? So we did some photos and stuff, and we shared it in the beginning. But
now that I think about it, it's even more perfect because I think their like software on their computers is called the command center.
Yes.
And you want to change this.
The Alienware command center.
Oh, it's so perfect. Hi, Travis Gaffer reporting live from the Alienware command center.
True.
They missed out. They missed out on the value.
Thank you to wow, all these people just randomly gifted. Ostrider for the 5, Pot of Maxwell's for the 5, Skyg for the 5, Grandpa Fitch for the 5, Seaman Demon, and Spudhugger all dropping. What, Spudhugger's funny to you?
Yeah, well, because Spud's potato.
They're just pulling potatoes out of the ground. That's not, yeah.
Oh, they're pulling out the guy. I didn't know if they were just pulling the potato.
They're tugging on the Spud.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Alienware for sponsoring this episode and the TGI Command Center.
Is it just TSM and EU salary caps? I think we're open to a world's take or something if we see a good one.
Yeah. So here's some context on this episode. So Mark and I announced on the last episode, which was about 10 days or so ago, that the show was going to go on hiatus for 2 weeks. The reason being, Mark had family visiting in LA this week before he gets into crazy world stuff. And then I, tomorrow morning, in like, I guess like 16 hours or so, I'm getting 3 teeth yanked out of my mouth, my wisdom teeth. And I'm very embarrassed to be getting them in my 30s, or getting them removed in my 30s. You did this when in your teens?
I think I was in college. I don't think people ever get them before like 20, unless they're like one of those.
Oh, there's a lot of people that get them in 16, like when they're 16,
really?
17, yeah.
Mine weren't that bad, so like I think one had like broken through the surface or whatever that's called, you know, but it wasn't like impacted or anything.
Yeah.
Light
well,
be with
I'm
you.
doing that, and I
Go
am
with honor,
not looking forward to it. I've
Light
spent so much
bless you.
time reading and looking at YouTube videos about it. Now I'm just giving myself anxiety.
Looking for something specific?
I'm not looking forward
Dude,
to
the
that.
internet is there to prey on your anxieties.
Well, the other thing is, I've heard that it's worse as you're older because your body's worse at getting. One,
Like
I think you have to
healing
do
and-
more,
yeah.
and like two worse at it. So I'm just expecting to be laid out for like the next week or so. It's gonna be miserable. But
Well, fortunately, you've been doing drugs in preparation to get your,
not accurate. But I am hoping
See you
that I get
later.
hooked up tomorrow. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
If you got any leftovers? Your boy.
So we were not going to do the show for a couple of weeks, and then we realized like
Can I
TSM,
help
like
you?
right after we announced that TSM left and the Shopify
Be
Rebellion
careful.
stuff came through. The LEC has instituted salary caps, which I think it's just really hard to have conversations about both those things. Like if we waited until the next time we do an
Worlds
episode,
started.
Worlds would have started, and we'd be like, remember 3 weeks ago when TSM left? You know, a lot of this just kind of deserves its own episode. And you couldn't do the show from your apartment today.
I mean, technically I could.
We found basically Mark and I found like an hour and a half long period of time where we could do the show. So we're doing it randomly at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday this week because we felt like you all deserved a show. That's Thursday. Oh no.
It's one of those weeks, everyone.
It's definitely one of those weeks.
Yeah, I've totally lost track of time too.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that stuff. If there are other things that we're forgetting about,
About Game Changers follow up.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Did not watch it. I was at the villa. I was at Getty Villa that day. My mom is one of those people who like needs to be doing multiple things every single day. So
if we get a call in about it, I think it's fine. If we have the time. Mark has a tighter schedule today, but I think if we have the space, we can do it. I'm not trying to pass on.
Ooh, new jeans for Worlds. Very hype.
You're buying some new ones? I don't even think people see the jeans when you're wearing them because it's like it's.
I can't tell if you're just not funny or you don't know what's going on. It could be either one with you.
I got it.
Is he oblivious grandpa?
I had that news.
Not funny grandpa.
So Numi can attest to this. I had that news under embargo since late last week, and was going to do a content piece on it for when the stuff released, and then everyone just started leaking that shit early. And I was going to do it with Numi because I was going to ask her, like, I'm not a K-pop expert, but I was going to try to get her to, like, live react to it on screen. You know? And then everybody just leaked that shit. And I was like, okay, well, I just got back from Vegas, so you're good.
I think someone at Riot told us that it was the I forgot this. Because I was surprised when I saw it. And I was like, oh, sick. I knew the song name was Gods. But I
Salutations!
Like sample
Seeing you.
stuff so far, and it doesn't sound like new jeans.
Daylight's
so
burning.
I'm curious, like, what it's gonna end up being. Like, there was like a little bit in the middle that was more like they're kind of like poppy sound. I don't know. Anyways, I'm excited.
I think it's just cool whenever because one, I know New Jeans is really big right now.
Hi, how are you? Be seeing you.
Heard their song on the TikTok where they go really hoping that he would come through.
Yeah.
We should probably not do that again. Anyway,
that's a dance.
So I'm familiar with them, and I think it's really cool whenever you get like a big name, and especially because it's going to be in Korea and stuff. It just kind of feels like.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's in Korea makes it super sick. Too. I'm sure it'll be a good time then.
Yeah. So we can talk about that, and then but really briefly, let's do our normal shtick.
I watched Dumb Money with Ashley.
Oh, I want to see that.
It's really good. It nails the emotional story beats and like the characters and stuff. It has one massive flaw.
Yeah.
And it's that it doesn't really explain any of the financial stuff. So if you do not already know what a short squeeze is and what was going on with the GameStop stop, they don't do it. It's not like the Big Short.
Big Short. It does that so well. Big Short's so good.
Big Short does it so well, and even then, sometimes it's a little too complicated.
Yeah.
And like but at least it tried, and I appreciate that. And like, I'd rather have it tell me something if I failed to understand it than it just be like,
oh, righty then.
Don't worry about it, And that's kind of the vibe it gives, which was like a little annoying.
Bye for now.
Like
You're a tall one.
With its one character's talking to the other one, he's like, "Do you know what a short squeeze is?" And you're like, "Oh, they're finally going to explain it halfway through."
You have a
and then they
great
still
day
don't,
now.
like,
Purchase something?
So we laughed, and Ashley was like, "I really liked it. What's a short squeeze?"
Couldn't follow along with it.
Yeah, so it's
have a great day now.
Because it's just like more about like the characters and the journey and like that stuff. But it was a big flaw to not cover some of the basics.
Yeah. Well, I was in Vegas this past weekend for MagicCon, and that was really fun. Met a bunch of folks that came up to me and they said they used to watch Hotline League all the time. That was
the classic.
Yeah.
I used to.
Dude, I used to watch your content all the time, and I just.
Right, man. That's what you asked.
I always just say used to, and then they go, oh, dude, sorry, I'm sorry. I just, I don't watch League Esports anymore. I got other stuff going on or whatever. They changed the time. But yeah, it was really fun to meet a bunch of you there. Did we ever talk about the fact that I did see Bottoms? I think maybe we talked about it in person.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, so I did see it after your recommendation, and I would double down on that recommendation from Mark. It's really good. I think it's still in a few theaters in LA. Like I think they might have extended it, but I think it's also on Hulu already.
Yeah, it might be already getting some streaming service releases.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone else at Riot about it, someone who opinion I respect, and he made a good point or two that like the third act is a little like in terms of like some of the conflict resolution.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I was like, yeah, that's true, but like I don't really think it's a plot kind of movie, you know?
Yeah.
So I was
the
like,
laughs and everything are
it's
weird.
much more about the vibes and the jokes and like the themes that it's going for than like did the plot resolve in it. I'm like, you know, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm sad that you have not beaten Baldur's Gate since we talked.
Yeah, I just haven't had a chance to. Have been getting ready for Worlds. We are a little bit of an update. There's a chance we might have a partner for at least some of Worlds coverage. Which
Everyone
would be very
jinx
nice.
it.
Yeah, I
Don't
probably
jinx
just jinxed it, but so that's been keeping me busy, and then going to Vegas was a bit, and then getting ready for tomorrow has been a bit, and then getting ready to leave. Just so everybody knows, I'm going to be at Command Fest in Portland in about 2 weeks from now, a little bit less than 2 weeks. So if you live in Portland, go check that out. And then in the middle of October, I will also be at MTG Summit. These are both really cool Magic events for those that actually do care about Magic, unlike Mark. But I've been meeting a ton of you all there, and then we hang out in the Discord channel on my server and
just run the poll again. Who
talk
cares about Magic?
Some of my audience, and I would like to be able to tell them that I'm going to events.
Anything else that I watched this week? I don't think so.
All right.
It's been a busy week.
Great.
Saw whales, or went whale watching. Saw a lot of dolphins. Giant pod of dolphins. 100 dolphins. It was sick.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Where?
Newport Beach.
That's crazy.
Yep.
It's
It's not supposed to be the season for that, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, well, you know, the climate. Anyway, let's get into the topics. So, we have New Jeans, we have TSM, and we have the LEC salary cap stuff, which I think is great.
Yeah.
And anything else people have said to throw out.
Yeah, I think if someone has a Game Changers take, maybe we'll look at it. You know, I don't think either of us watched it since we were busy.
Why don't you give the spiel?
So the spiel, because it's the afternoon and people have not joined the server or maybe not used to it this time of day, this is actually a live call-in show. It'll be a little shorter. I don't think we'll go the full 2 hours. Also, given that we had a little bit of a slow start, we'll see how much we get through. But if you want to try and get on the show, there's a Discord that you can join. Type !Travis or Discord, excuse me.
Great to meet you.
Go ahead.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Can I help you? Calls,
See you around. Greetings.
And
Have a good one.
You mute your microphone so we don't hear you speaking to people. You'll hang out in there, and you'll put your takes up above in the text channel. So whatever it is that we want to talk about, if you have an opinion, if you have a question, you'll post it up there. Travis today will actually be the one perusing, since we are in the same room, and I couldn't get into whatever. Point is, Travis will be pulling your takes, seeing which ones he likes, and you'll hang out in the waiting room until it's your turn.
A hero has fallen.
And if you are a sub, first off, thank you for being a sub, but make sure that you... and by the way, you can become a sub for way cheaper right now.
How are
The
you?
final week, and gifted subs are very discounted
See ya
for those
soon.
that like to give subs. But make sure that you sync your Twitch account with your Discord so that you can get access to the subtopics channel. It moves a little slower. And we're not going to be doing audio checks. So if you can, please make sure that your audio is checked. Like you can go into the Discord audio settings and stuff, because if we drag you in and we can't hear you, we'll probably just drag you out and put you back in the waiting room. And if you can't get it fixed by the next time, then we'll just move on to another caller. So make sure your audio is good. You can always, talk to somebody else or something like that. Make sure it's good. So let's dive into topics on our own first.
Okay.
I think. So, Mark.
Yes.
How much did you cry when TSM left the LPL?
It was shocking. It was sudden.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming. I didn't have time to emotionally prepare for it, and they had just been so good so much recently, they had done so much for the scene recently that it really just tugged at my heartstrings to see them go.
Yeah. Same. Okay. So how do you want to address this?
So, I think there's the correct way, which is to say it sucks to lose such a staple of the scene. TSM, in a lot of ways for the first 8 years, I'd say, was synonymous with the LCS. There was like no differentiation. The
CSM
league
chants everywhere.
CSM chants worldwide, regardless of just North America. You know, the competitive side kind of ran through them. They were always in the final. They went to the first 10 straight finals, and even in 2022 and stuff like that, they were still competitive. They made a finals run. They were sitting in MVPs, and all the way up until Bjergsen left. They had this legacy for what felt like the first 8 years. I think the last 2, you could tell there was a difference. There was a year where there was a pretty big mass exodus of both players and staff, and Lena left and all this stuff, and the org never quite felt the same after that. And so in that sense, they had already started slipping, I think, for a lot of people, a lot of fans and stuff. And so it's not quite as soul-wrenching as it might have been if it happened 2 years ago or something. But I think for a lot of fans,
a hero has fallen.
It's scary to see the pillar of your scene leave.
Yeah, I think that is.
How are you?
Fair.
Safe travel. See you later. Safe travels. Have a good one.
Greetings. Be careful.
A hero has fallen.
I am surprised that there are so many dedicated TSM fans. Like there are, if you go to that subreddit, there's a bunch of people, and you'll see this on Twitter too.
A hero has fallen.
I'm still a dedicated TSM fan, and I'm happy that we're leaving the LCS because people like Azale
I don't have a target.
never gave us the credit we deserve. Like there's some. I think that there was a point in time where you have the meme thing where it's like the TSM fans look at all the stuff that went down, all the news that came out, everything that happened, and they ask themselves, "Are we the baddies?" And then many of them abandoned the org.
See you around.
But the ones that stuck around,
a hero
in
has
order
fallen.
to do that, you have to like mentally justify this. And the way you do it is by saying, "No, we're the victims." And so, like, I don't know. I mean, you see this, right? Like the amount, like there's this kind of weird victim complex. I feel like among many of them that, the LCS didn't treat us right, like the Gabby monologue, or Azale tweeting that stuff, or the viewership's bad, and so we're gonna go to greener pastures and all that stuff. And I'm just kind of like, I obviously very much disagree. I think you and I have both had to work with TSM over the years, and they have not been always the best, I feel like, partners for many people in the scene. As Mark's casting wizard spells on...
Fixed it.
Yeah, for podcast listeners, Mark's dealing with the out-of-focus stuff. But all that being said, those fans are so dedicated, so passionate to TSM
They're following
that
them
they're gone, right? Like, and I think that is a bit of a bummer because I don't know if there are any fans in the LCS that are as dedicated to any of their teams as TSM fans are, for better or for worse. And so losing all those fans in the league, I think, is going to be a bit of a bummer, even if I'm not going to be tired of, even if I'm not going to miss seeing them in my YouTube comments and Twitter replies, you know?
Yeah, I think there's like some people who are obviously still fans of the players rather than the org or something, or, you know.
What
like,
can I do
trying
for
to
you?
support some people and stuff. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think the reality is, if you look at the amount of people that, and I was going to do a video about this, I don't know if I'll have time or what, but like,
you won't.
I won't. I won't do a video about this. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Unless something radically changes in the near future with my what I'm doing. I was gonna do a video talking about some of the reasons that you see this, rather than trying to like tell you that you shouldn't like TSM, but at least explaining why, like, across the spectrum of esports, a lot of people have gotten kind of burned out or frustrated with dealing with TSM. And it's like, if Travis and Thorin and Azael are all on the same side of
See you around.
argument, you know something fucked.
A hero has fallen.